Yes, very good. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. I have a very good video today that you guys are all going to like. And basically what I'm going to be doing is highlighting 8 prominent Chinese blockchain and cryptocurrency companies that you can choose to do more research on, you can choose to invest in, or you can just listen and learn, whatever you want. Now, why am I doing this today? Well, it's not that hard to figure out. We recently had some news right out of China that basically, we know in the past year China has been heavily regulating cryptocurrencies, and there's a lot of FUD, or was a lot of FUD, associated with China about whether or not, they're going to allow blockchain and cryptocurrency technology in their country. I have always thought that they are not going to shoot themselves in the foot by, falling behind on technology like this, and I was right. And basically, this is you guys should read the article, any article that's written about this, but I'm going to quote just a few key lines from it. Quote, "A Chinese government body is considering creating national standards to boost the development of blockchain and distributed ledger technology in the country." And also, quote, "keeping the country ahead of the curve with blockchain technology." So China is being smart. And basically what the article, is sharing with us, that China, they want to be considered a world leader. And by doing that, they're going to be developing their own companies in China. And this is, congruent with how they've done things in the past. Let me give you a little Cliff Note version of China real quick. China wasn't always, the powerhouse it was today. And they've really only had the astonishingly rapid economic growth over the last few decades, and now has a GDP second only to the USA. And one of the ways they've managed to do this is they fostered the growth of their own domestic companies. This is a country that tends to prefer its own. For instance, they had the Great Firewall of China. As opposed to the Great Wall of China, they had this thing called the Great Firewall of China, which basically kept out even the biggest Western companies. And because of that, the Chinese internet looks very different from, the U.S. internet or the Western internet that we know. For instance, they have homegrown tech companies like Baidu, WeChat, Teo, Boe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these correctly, but basically those companies replace what we know. It replaces Google, it replaces WhatsApp, it replaces Amazon and all Western internet. So their internet looks very different from ours. And the way they've, made themselves such a leader is by fostering growth within. And they basically just said that's exactly what they're going to do with blockchain technology. And as an investor, I read this and think, okay, if China is promoting its own blockchains, that's possibly, that's a real good future for Chinese-based companies. So what I'm going to do today is share with you eight Chinese-based companies and just give you a feel for them and tell you what makes them good. And then you guys can use this as a starting off point if you want to do your own research, because maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, because China's really playing the long game with this, we're going to see a lot of Chinese companies being very successful. So before I begin with my 8 companies, if you're new to the channel, you're going to want to give us a subscribe right now, because we do daily videos on everything altcoin, everything cryptocurrency, whether it be deep dives, whether it be whatever. What makes my channel different is I'm trying to give you guys the most relevant, the most need-to-know information, and really give you guys a starting off point. And a community, so you guys can make some money like I did. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my opinions. I'm a normal guy, but I made money in cryptocurrency, and that's what I want for you guys too. So please use this channel and all its value to the best advantage for you. And please like the video if you find value, or comment if you have any strong opinion, because that helps me grow. But anyways, let's get into it. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this first one. The first one is NIO. I've talked about NIO before. Many people talk about NIO before, but it is in a pretty decent buying opportunity right now, and that's why I want to keep it on your radar, because NIO actually has ties to the Chinese government, and I think it's going to be one that they're going to foster growth in. Who knows what the bottom's going to be? We can see that it's, falling down right now. The last base was around 40, but I think something under 70 is a good buying opportunity. But real quick, so we can move past NEO and I can get to these others. NEO is basically, it's the Chinese Ethereum. It's a blockchain platform like Ethereum is. And, they're trying to be better than Ethereum. They're in ways that they are better. They're compatible with traditional programming languages, unlike Ethereum. So it's much easier for developers to develop on the platform. Also, they're trying to fix scalability in general, which Ethereum has problems with. They can do over 1,000 transactions per second with a goal to optimize to 10,000 transactions per second, as opposed to Ethereum, which can only do 15 transactions per second. And we saw the effects of that about months ago with CryptoKitties, when that decentralized app was launched, and Ethereum's network really got slowed down. So Ethereum's having problems with scalability. NEO's trying to solve that, along with much more. This is one of the companies I think China is going to be building up from within over the long term. I think NEO is a great long-term investment. And so put it on your radar. Invest low and hold. And I think under 70, it's not the worst time you could invest, but it might go lower. Put it on your radar. Anyway, next, IOTA. IOTA chain. What is IOTA? Well, it's very similar to IOTA, which is it's basically the Chinese IOTA, and IOTA is the Western IOTA. So IOTA is similar to IOTA in that it's not really even a blockchain technology, but the newer Tangle or DAG chain. So as opposed to a blockchain, which has the blocks, and then you get the next blocks, this is using a Tangle, so it's just a little more a newer version of blockchain technology, basically. And just like IOTA, it's going to connect the Internet of Things. So in the future, everything's going to be able to talk to each other, whether it be your blender, talking to your computer, talking to your car. And IOTA is basically trying to be the blockchain and company to help get it to that level. Right now, IOTA is a high market cap coin. And if you like IOTA, I see no reason why you wouldn't like IOTA. And with China building up its companies from within, IOTA might become a high market coin. Who knows? Anyways, put it on your radar. As with many altcoins right now, it is at some of its lowest lows. Under $1, almost under 80 cents right now. That is pretty decent because we can see its last base was over $1. So yeah, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to get involved in IOTA. I might take out a position. I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit more research, but China might build this one up, so keep it on your radar. Let's get to the next one. So this video isn't an hour long. Like the video, if you please. Nebulous. Nebulous, basically the central value of Nebulous is to enable searching across different blockchain and decentralized apps. It's basically known as the Google of blockchain. Right now it's at 541. This has kind of been all over the place, but it isn't at its highest highs, which is good. So put this on your radar. Basically, as blockchain grows and becomes more prevalent, we can expect internet infrastructure to be built in a more decentralized way. And Nebulous aims to implement a ranking system and search function for this framework. More on that. It's a third generation. I've brought up third generation type cryptocurrencies before, and it's also just like Cardano, just like many others, it's trying to fix scalability and fix interoperability, which is basically compatibility with other things. And so it's still very early on in this process, but with companies being early on, high risk can sometimes bring high reward. Do your research on this. See if you think it's a good company. China might be building it up. Besides being the Google blockchain, they plan to create the first Lightning Network wallet, which would give the potential of processing millions of transactions per minute in the same realm as institutions like Visa, PayPal. And they have a very solid team, this company, that consists of developers from Google, Alibaba, and two of the co-founders of NEO. They are headed up by Hitters Zhu, that's the guy's name, who is one of the founders of the original blockchain communities in China. So they have a all-star team pretty much, and they're connected with NEO, which I truly believe China is going to be built up. We don't know what other companies China is going to be building up. But it's possible it might be nebulous because China doesn't like Google, a Western company. And yeah, I think nebulous is really good. Is it good at 541? Possibly, real possibly. We never know what's going to happen. I'd like to see I'd like to see it get a little bit lower before I take out an investment. But if you think this company has long-term gains, eventually you're going to want to take out a position. Next, Matrix. What is Matrix? Well, Matrix aims to make smart contracts available to anyone through their native language. So this is a company that is trying to do some lofty big things in the future. They're trying to make smart contracts available to everyone and anyone using that person's own native language. And it will be achieved through a combination of artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. A lofty combination of ideas that relies on NLP, natural language processing, to interpret information via a computer, which is then put directly on the blockchain to form a self-writing smart contract. All right, very interesting. Basically, Matrix's purpose, it would allow anyone to easily create smart contracts for legal agreements, exchanges of money, or whatever they choose. And they're trying to make things very, very easy, very, very user-friendly, so people will be able to, all kinds of people, anybody will be able to write smart contracts. And they're a very new coin, low market cap, and with that comes high risk and high reward. So if you were to buy, who knows how far it'll go down, but I'd say once it gets under 50 cents, that would be a good buy. Either way, keep this on your radar for a long-term hold, as we can't even see the circulating supply or the market cap. It's so new. So who knows? But this is one of the companies that China might be wanting to build up. Now, these next three companies, they are all similar. I'm going to be talking about Walton Chain, VeChain, and Huobi. And yes. I did a video on strategy a while ago, how you need to identify trends and then diversify those trends. So Walton, VeChain, and Huobi are all doing almost the same thing. They're doing it in different ways, but if you believe in one of these companies, you might want to diversify your portfolio, invest in all of them. So that way, if one of them does better than the other, you see in the future that what these companies are going to be doing, supply chain companies. If you think that's the future of crypto, then maybe you want to diversify on all three. But anyways, Walton Chain. It's basically the blockchain of the Internet of Things. I mentioned the Internet of Things is everything talking to each other, and they want to be the blockchain for that. They use RFID technology, radio frequency identification, as a way to ID and track tags attached to objects. So, with this blockchain company, you're going to be able to know without a shadow of a doubt when a product got made, where it was stored, how long it's been stored, when will it ship again. They're going to be able to track the shipping and track product info in retail stores. And this will be able to give both buyers and sellers and manufacturers, it's going to be able to give everybody very accurate, honest info, so you know exactly what you're getting and where it's been. It's 13 cents right now. It's at pretty much lows. Let's get into VeChain because these are all kind of together, very similar. It's aiming to create a trust-free business ecosystem on the blockchain. It's integrating a range of technologies that are tailored to several different sectors. These include the RFID chips for tracking supply chains, and also NFC sensors for being able to stop counterfeit of goods. And that alone, it's worth nearly $500 billion globally. This is a big type of the big sector they're trying to get involved in. And there's many differences between the two companies, but they're all trying to do basically the same thing. At Walton Chain, it's a little bit more business to business. VeChain is a little bit more business to customer. And then finally, before I wrap up all these three, Huobi, very similar. It's developed a solution that securely links a physical item to its digital representation at a cost that allows us to protect everyday consumer goods such as food, medicine, alcohol, cosmetics, both physically and digitally. In other words, Huobi puts anti-counterfeit labels on consumer goods so that customers have a confirmable system of providing that good they want to buy, so that customers have a confirmable system of proving that the good they want to buy is indeed what it claims and to be, and it has not been corrupted. And then the user can buy goods by using the Huobi token. Now, they're all trying to get into supply and manufacturing and shipping. And you know, when I buy food or whatever, and they say it's organic and they say it's all this stuff, you know, I don't really know. When I have medicine, I don't really know. But they're going to basically give people peace of mind by putting this information on a blockchain system. You know, all three are pretty much at relative lows right now. If you believe that this is the future of blockchain technology, I say diversify your portfolio in all three of these and do some research on the ones that you really think are winners. But I do think all three of these have winning potential. I like VeChain, I like Huobi, I like Walton. And then finally, I want to talk to you guys today about Tron. I mean, everybody has heard about Tron peripherally. Their CEO is Justin Sun. One thing Tron is great at is branding and PR and everything. But you know, what people want to see with Tron is some results because it's still very early on. For those who don't know, Tron aims to be a decentralized entertainment content sharing platform, eventually leveraging blockchain and peer-to-peer network technology. And some key features, Tron wants to, quote, heal the internet through 1, data liberation, free and uncontrolled data, 2, enabling content ecosystem where users can obtain digital assets from content spreading, 3, personal ICO with ability to distribute assets, 4, and yeah, this is the fourth one, infrastructure to allow distributed digital asset exchange such as games and market forecasting. So earlier this year in January, when all the altcoins were going up, Tron became way overbought by going from about 3 cents to about almost 25 cents. And it has a slow decline ever since because they don't really have a working product right now. However, the CEO of Tron, Justin Sun, does have ties with the Chinese government. And as I said, the reason I'm bringing all these companies to your attention is because of this news, we're going to see China building up its own companies. So if you believe Tron is the future of gaming, it's the future of trading digital assets, then this might be something you want to invest in. I think 3 cents isn't necessarily a bad place to invest in Tron because it's kind of been forming a base. I guess its last base was around 3 cents, so it's going to be a little bit hard to break lower. So yeah, put it on your radar. In fact, it's almost less than 3 cents. Yeah. So anyways, that's what I wanted to bring to your attention today. All these companies, I think, are good in its own right, but with China promoting their own blockchain companies, as they just announced yesterday, we could see major growth for these companies in the you know, not even near future, in the 5 years, 10 years. You know, China's doing a long-term play, basically, just like they did when they created the firewall of China and basically made their own internet, which is very separate from the Western internet, and that's why China is the second in GDP following the USA. Anyways, I wanted to bring that stuff to your attention today. If you like the video, please do me a solid and like the video. If you have an opinion, please comment. Both those things help people see my channel and see my videos. And either way, subscribe because we bring you daily content, guys. Thank you. Peace.